A new sacrifice comes to you.
Okay. So, I was looking at fucking scrub quotes, and one of the most recent things that showed up is that moment you give a character a command grab, they ain't an honest character.
That's not even a scrub quote.
Yeah, and then
That's true.
the second I posted that, the second I saw that, I just posted in the comment section, make Narukami less honest again. Hi,
That's
hello,
like...
welcome. Yeah. Keep going.
No, that's not even a hot take or a scrub quote. Grapplers aren't fighting game characters.
They're just not real. They're like canon.
I'll take that to the grave. I don't care how many rights I lose or who I have to fight. Fucking grapplers aren't fighting game characters.
That's how it would be on this bitch of an earth. And also, hi, hello, welcome to a new episode of Here Comes a New Challenger, a fighting game podcast. It is just us two today, because everyone is busy. Or doing something, I don't know. None of them responded. But that's not going to get in our way, because we're going to super beast it. We're going to do a co-op. It's going to be a pretty quick one. I think I just kind of want to make it talking about the past 2 weeks, because I'm pretty sure lots happened for both of us, and also do a game recommendation, because next week is going to be the Halloween Spooktacular, which will probably come out after Halloween, since we're recording at late night that night, so by the time we're done, it'll probably be midnight. But it's again gonna count, shut up. And the person I'm here with is Troy.
I'm mad now. But hi, hello.
Oh, because of the quote?
Yeah, it's angering me.
That's how you gotta start. You gotta start with the grappler hate, you know? If all the
tired of them.
Of all the minority characters to hate on, I think grapplers are totally fine. Puppet characters are kind of sus.
Nah, puppet character's cool.
Yeah, that's it depends. I think depending on the character, they have rights or not. But grapplers, I also agree they're dumb and I hate them.
Who are you thinking for puppet characters? Because I actually can't think of that many. I think of Ken and Koromaru, which is pretty sus. But then
Carl.
Chaos is cool as fuck.
Carl Clover.
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Relius Clover.
Yeah, well, Relius...
Zato.
Zato. Oh, Zato's cool. I like Zato. No, if you play Relius, I don't trust you. If you play Carl, I don't know. Respect, because that character's hard as fuck, but fuck Carl.
Yeah, also his design, I don't like his design either. It's too goofy.
He's small boy.
Yeah, I think the idea of cute Shoto boy with big sister giant mecha robot puppet is kind of cool, but I just don't like the top hat.
You don't like the top hat?
No, I think it looks dumb.
But you like the giant pointy witch hat in FF14.
The fucking dunce cap?
Yes.
The dunce cap's cool.
Okay, we're on opposite sides of the spectrum. I see. I like the top hat, but I hate the dunce cap. It's so dumb.
Listen, it's cool.
It's not.
You get a circle on the bottom to put your head on.
Mm-hmm.
It goes up, and then it ends with a point. The top hat has a circle, but it doesn't end with a point. And there's also gears all over it, he copy and pasted. You know, is this a science project?
Word. No, the top hat's cooler. That's it.
I'm going to make a poll on Twitter about this.
Do it. You'll lose. No one likes dunce caps.
No, everyone's gonna vote for dunce cap. Everyone's gonna be like, man, you sure are cool. I agree with dunce cap. And then
The
they're
first
gonna be
thing I
like,
think of every time I see the dunce cap is that scene in like the Iron Giant when he has to wear one and he just looks like a dork.
are you
That's
saying
all I
something
think
right now?
of. What's up?
Are you trying to say something right now about me?
I just have suspicions now.
Okay. Yeah, do you want to go first about your big weeks? Or do you
Oh,
want me to?
sure. Well, this past week I went home early to do early voting because I
Oh,
haven't
yeah.
gotten that set up in Denton. I was just like, fuck it, I'll do early voting
Yeah,
and
I think
see
that happened.
doggos.
I think that happened to me like my freshman year, where I think I was
Yeah,
supposed
that
to
sounds
vote
about right.
for Leander, but I had no way of really getting home. I'm like, I guess I just won't vote this time. But this time, I am in the area, and I am registered. So I did an early voting like 2 weeks ago, I think, or a week ago, something like that.
Damn.
Like, I feel it was a week ago, yeah. It was like on the 13th, I think, is when I voted.
Yeah, they gave me a sticker for like first time voters, so that was cool.
Yeah, I
And
got a sticker for early
they like
voting.
clapped for me. It's like, oh, you're a first time voter, and it's the little clap felt real nice, gassed up my ego a bit. So that was
The
nice.
clap's a little odd, but the sticker makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, a little bit.
Because I got a sticker for voting early, and I put it on my work badge. So I'm like, yeah. I got rid of it because it started to peel. I'm like, oh well. But I don't know how to feel about the clapping, where it's like, yeah, you voted. When it's like, I mean, granted, it's important, but like, that's probably really annoying to anyone who's actually voting and like looking at the choices and being like, what? And they're trying to like vote seriously, and they're trying to remember like what each person's like policies are or whatever. I voted pretty seriously except for one part. I probably shouldn't be talking about this, but one of the people's names had like a nickname of Speedy. It was something quote quote Speedy end quote, and then their last name. I thought that was a really funny name, so I voted for him.
Why? Okay.
He is. I think he's running for something in my district, but I literally cannot remember. So I was just like, yeah, whatever. I'll just vote for him because he sounded funny.
Alright, at least it was just the district thing.
Yeah, it wasn't like
that doesn't sound too serious.
President stuff, I voted like, I want to say, mostly Democratic. There might have been like one third party thing, maybe, but I've mostly voted Democrat. It's just the Speedy thing I thought was really funny, so I voted for him. And if he wins and it turns out he's a horrible person, then oops. Guess where I'm living is fucked.
Yeah, it's on the pod now for video evidence.
Yeah, so whenever people are wondering who they should beat up for voting for Speedy, they know where to go. Okay, what else did you do besides getting clapped at for voting?
Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this. I probably didn't because it was like 2 weeks ago. But I started picking up Guilty Gear Plus R.
Yeah,
been
you
playing
didn't
more of
mention that, I
that.
don't think.
Okay, cool. So yeah, been playing that because like I think everyone knows by now that it's like, well, I've been watching this ad for like 30 seconds. It's been on repeat. And I didn't notice. Anyways, I picked up. I think I'm gonna stick with Bridgette. He's cool. People are like, oh, haha, trap. I'm like, yes, and that's cool. But also, he's a crackhead. He has like crazy air stalls where he can just stay at the top of the screen, like off the screen even for like a minute, just because of plus R mechanics plus Bridgette.
Actually, I don't think I've. So like, I know about Bridgette. I know Bridgette has existed for like probably a good nearly a decade of my life since like high school when I got #reload. But I think that is it. I don't think I've actually ever seen Bridgette gameplay. I just know that Bridgette exists, and that a lot of my friends are into Bridgette.
Yeah, I feel like I just always hear about people being into Bridgette, but I'm like, do you know what's the character do? And I can never get a straight answer.
Yeah, I just know he has a yo-yo.
Yeah, the yo-yo's crazy.
That's all I know. And also he holds a teddy bear for some reason.
I was gonna say that. God, what's his name? Like, is it Fuzzy? It might be Fuzzy.
Does the teddy bear do anything?
I'm looking this up.
Is it like
Oh yeah, have
lychee?
Bridgette's to sleep.
Or like,
No, so it's
some
all
the teddy bear like, comes to life and starts like punching you.
Yeah, so the teddy bear is all his heavy slash buttons. So it's all his heavy slash specials. So he has to come at me, bro, where the teddy just like has his paws at and just taunting you. Then he turns into a spiky thing. He does a little slide too. Yeah, it's kind of silly because you can kind of like the yo-yo turns into him. So you can set it off screen and then he comes at you from like does a sweep. Pretty obnoxious, especially if Bridgette's also off the screen. You can't really see what's he gonna do.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the only thing is like low health, low damage, but like I don't know, they're never gonna hit me.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna stay
like,
off the screen and let my teddy bear do everything.
It's just Femboy Millia.
Yeah, it is.
Just with the hey, so you're knocked down. I'm gonna go away, and now you have to guess like 4 possible things I can do instead of just 2 like everyone else.
And then yeah, I tried Millia too, just because I like her in X-Red. She has like the same B&Bs.
Yeah.
She feels
most characters
roughly the same.
surprisingly like play almost identically from one another.
Yeah.
I played Kai a lot in Plus R mess around with it, and he plays almost the same. He just has some different stuff.
Yeah, she has like a couple different normals, but they're mostly the same, and her combos still feel the same.
Yeah, the only thing I think Kai has, he has like 2 things I know are completely different. He has a follow-up to his DP, which he doesn't have anymore, where he like tosses a little bit of lightning at you. And then, you know what Ragna does? Where like when you're down, he can pick you up or whatever?
Yeah.
Kai has something like that. He doesn't pick you up, but he can like strike the ground with lightning or whatever whenever you're knocked down. I don't know exactly what it does. I just know it's a move because I have not played that game.
No,
I played that game like 2 or 3 times in person, and that's it.
Actually, wait. Did you know I wasn't here? Did club meetings happen? I don't remember hearing anything about that this weekend.
No, so we were supposed to do the Austin and Garrett birthday bash for Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Oh, well, that was last right. Yeah.
Yeah, it turned into a nightmare trying to set up.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
So we were just like, yeah, we're just gonna all hang. So we just hung out and played Marvel 2 the whole day.
That's cool.
Messed around with some other stuff too. So
yeah, that was
super
like
big happened.
Revo was happening too, and after Arc Revo, I'll talk about that in a little bit. But that was
last week. I don't think we did anything. Oh
yeah, like
last week.
This past Saturday, yesterday. Yeah. Okay, because I need to set up voting, but I was actually gonna like put up Plus R, because the rollback patch comes out this week. Did it get in?
26th.
Okay, so yeah, tomorrow. Cool.
Is it the 26th that they said?
I think so.
I remember hearing 26, but I can't remember if it was for that or for something else. Because I know next week Watch Dogs also comes out, but I think that's the 29th.
Just pull up GG and BB. Oh, yeah, I believe so. I think that would be fun because I know I've seen a lot of the FGC guys at least launching the game and playing it.
Yeah, that's what I noticed too. A lot of people that that don't normally play it. Because I know Strawberry started playing it, and he even wrote out like Kai guide for it and whatnot.
Okay, it's the 29th.
29th, okay, so that's...
But yeah, so it would come out before Saturday, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know, that'd be really cool. It's fucking dirt cheap all the time.
Yeah, it's it's full price isn't that bad. It's like 15, I think, right?
If that, yeah.
I think it's 15.
Okay. Which, super reasonable.
Yeah, no, like even 20 I think is reasonable for this game, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I think it's, let me check. Time to hear typing on the stream.
There's still some characters one trial.
So yeah, it's very reasonable. That's not bad. If you're like, man, I have some money to spend, just get Plus R.
I was messing around with like a lot of characters. I tried out Bike. I'm like, oh god, I still hate this character. Yeah, I get a lot of hate for saying that. I hate Biken. Character design, perfect. Actual character is the fucking nightmare. Also pretty crackhead of just like you never can take your turn normally. She's just gonna parry.
Then just turns into a Sancho character and deletes all of your output.
Yeah. Well, her damage output isn't like crazy, but yeah.
Yeah, at least her super I remember being super fucking strong in Rev 2, like the triple hit one.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that one being stupid with damage if it's a counter hit.
Probably some counter hit things. But yeah, I played that. Starting to get back into BB Tag again, just messing with Naoto. I think that team is just one of the most fun teams I've had in a while.
Yeah, because Naoto is really fun in that game and doesn't break your hands as often.
Yeah, I should mention Kurogane.
Yeah, Kurogane specifically, because Shiro doesn't break hands. She's just weird.
Just fishes for that insta kill, and it's so good. Dude, the fucking sexual tension between me and the person I have marked as Naoto Shirogane, just throughout the match, at any moment they fuck up, their life is mine.
It's so good. It never feels worth it because, like, realistically, it's not worth it because you end up doing like 7 to 8k in order to land that mark. So it's like, oh, you're just getting rid of the other half of their health, but then it's like, yeah, but it's for bragging rights, so it's fine.
Not even, nah. For the mark, you can just do like a simple B&B, which is only like 6. I mean, sure, you spin 7 probably using 2 meters. Yeah, then you have the mark, and then it's just constantly on them, so they have to play defensively, or they at least have to like play knowing that you can do it at any time. And then Naoto Kurogane is just super cool. His dash cancels, like, just as part of his pressure is really cool. It's how you get his enhanced moves, which makes everything plus. But yeah, both are sick characters, and both named Naoto. There's nothing more.
And they call each other Naoto during the intro, which makes it super good.
Yeah.
I remember making that joke forever ago. Like, that'll be really funny if they did this as their intro, and then it happened.
Like, it's a crime that it took till 2.0 to get it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a bummer it took that long.
Let's see. Oh, and then I played you a little bit, but yeah, I got playing Exit again. I picked up Sin because I like to turn my brain off sometimes.
My favorite
I'm tired of playing.
Sin. Kisuke. I love him.
Yeah, he's your favorite character.
Yeah, I love him. He does so much good, fun damage, and I love him. I love how fair and balanced he is as a character.
To be fair, I stand by that Sin Kisuke isn't as much of a gorilla as, obviously, Leo and then Soul. Soul is just as much of a gorilla as Leo, and I stand by that. He is a little harder, yes, but you still just press buttons with him. And Sin has to eat. He has meter management that he has to work around.
Because you can
he's really good.
throw out Ground Viper as Soul, and if they don't know, oh, I have to block low and then block high or whatever, you're gonna get hit by it.
Yeah.
Because like it ends with an overhead, doesn't it?
I didn't know about that. It might.
Because I remember blocking low and always getting hit by it at the end, but I can't remember if that's just me being dumb, or if there's actually like an overhead at the end.
Not sure. Well, mad fun game. I'm just tired of like. Ramblethal is still my favorite character. I think she's still one of my favorite fighting game characters in general. She's just ridiculously hard. You have to play her perfectly. You're just gonna like. She's one of those polarizing characters where you play her perfectly and you're just gonna dominate the game, or you fuck up once and you're just gonna die because her buttons suck.
Luckily, all that's getting fixed with the Genos Drive.
Yeah, dude, she looks really strong in Strive. Have we talked about the Strive yet?
Did we?
I don't know.
I think we did with when Sean was here.
We did. You're right. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I want to say we did when Sean was here. But yeah, just basically getting rid of the set play, being like, here is some set play stuff you can do, and here is an actual projectile. Other than the weird 45-degree angle one.
Okay, so Soul's Ground Viper, it's low and then mid. So it just becomes a mid.
Okay.
I was like, that sounds hella silly. It's like a big old knowledge check. And it already is a knowledge check of like how long you have to be blocking low.
Yeah. That might have been I'm guessing like the last moment I went up to block the mid, even though I don't need to, but it was like time to go up, and then just got hit by the last part, I'm guessing.
Yeah. What else did I do? I think that was it. Yeah, I took a bunch of pics with doggos, so that's cool.
Yeah. Okay. I did a lot actually. Last week. Oh, we got a message from Brandon Maldonado.
Oh, get him on.
Nah, he says he has to do some work tonight. He needs to finish.
Unfortunate.
But I did a lot last week because the week before was me, Austin, and my friend Jack's birthday week. And Xavier's.
Yeah.
4 birthdays in 1 week. And I think Austin and Xavier had the same birthday, I believe. On the 13th.
Yeah. I remember that.
13th, then me, and then Jack. But yeah, I did a lot that week. I ended up getting a Evangelion model kit.
Oh yeah, I
Built
saw that. That looked
I
came out
got
really
an Eva
nice.
Unit 1 model kit, so I built that. That took forever because it's just a bunch of small pieces.
Oh, did you get 2?
Yeah, I got Unit no, I got Unit 1. No, not Unit 1, Unit 0.
Yeah, Unit 0. Yeah, I was like, I remember the pick.
Yeah, it was Unit 0, yeah. Specifically, like, for some reason, it's supposed to be after the Berserk thing, but it's still, like, the prototype Unit 0. So that's really weird.
Oh, yeah.
It's still yellow and not blue, so that was really odd, but whatever. I built it, and it's great, and now it's on my, not my desk, my... What's it called? What's the thing? Bookshelf. There we go. I don't know why I can't remember bookshelf. It's on my bookshelf with my other like Gundam model kits. So that's cool. Just hung out with friends, which I haven't done in forever. Got some really good food and got some wine, which is why I couldn't really record on Sunday. That and also like I was also just really exhausted because I did a lot on that Sunday. Because I also went to go see Lupin the Third, the First. Which is simultaneously
that name's
the
confusing.
dumbest name ever because it sounds so stupid, but it's also a really clever name because it's Lupin the Third, but it's also their first CGI movie. Which is why it's called the First. Which is just like I guess it's kind of like saying Pokemon the movie or whatever, you know? Like or like Doug's first movie. You know? Or it's like, oh, it's the first thing, which it makes sense. I don't think it's like a terrible idea, but it's just a really weird name, and I remember my friends also being really confused by it. But that movie is fantastic. It's not like incredible by any means, I guess. It's not like with the other 2 anime movies I saw in theaters, like that came out relatively recently, or Promare and Weathering with You. And I guess technically from a story perspective, yeah, those are so much better, even like visually, I guess, just because CG can't replicate the same amount of like...
I think it's just a preference thing. I don't know if that's like inherently true, you know?
Yeah.
Like Lupin does like, I think, amazing with CG. I think it's just if what you prefer. Bleh. Boy.
Okay. Oh, okay. I was just looking at something. Sorry.
You're good.
So basically, yeah. The movie looks fantastic in general, though. Like,
yeah.
When I describe it, I don't describe it as Lupin and CG, but CG and Lupin. Because it's not like they're trying to make the characters fit the CG. You know how like sometimes when there's a redesign, the character like if it's something going from 2D to 3D, the character design like changes drastically. I think that happens a lot actually, but with Lupin, it looks like they were from the anime, which is really great. The other thing is that this movie is basically a love letter to Lupin, and it is fantastic because the first thing that it's very obvious at first you don't normally get this in the movies, but you get a Lupin style opening, and it's fantastic. And it's made, and the music they use is from the 2002 remake of the 78 version of the theme. So like the part 2 theme, which is great. After the theme, you get a little bit of a typewriter type saying the first, which is what they do in part 2 when they show off an episode name. Another thing is Lupin's look. Normally they go for because right now in the series, I think on part 5, they're on part 5 at this point, they're using a blue jacket for Lupin, because he went from green to red, the pink, the blue. And so you think they're continuing that stuff, they go for blue, but they went for red. In order to make it more like, hey, it's more like a classic Lupin movie. And they even have like a little moment where Lupin does a leap over a building, and they even play like a small sound effect, I think either from Castle of Cagliostro or from just a part 2 episode. That's also fantastic. So it's like a lot of love went into this. And I did the English dub of the movie, because that was the one they had around that time, and it's great. Like, the English dub has been the same English dub since like the late 90s, early 2000s. With like Lex Lang as Goemon, Tony Oliver as Lupin, Michelle Ruff I think is Fujiko, and Richard Epcar is Jigen. And the interesting thing is that in the new Part 4 onward, they got Doug Erholtz to voice Zenigata. Which, if you're wondering who Doug Erholtz is, that's the voice actor for Hazama. So they got Hazama to voice Zenigata.
I see the appeal. This whole time I was I understand now.
Yeah. But yeah, but Zenigata is fantastic though. In that movie, he's great. Every character gets their chance to shine, but Zenigata, it doesn't do a whole lot of epic stuff, or like oh man, that's so cool. It's mainly he's a bumbling detective, and he's played as a character, comic relief, but it's great. Just him being this dumb idiot with a massive squadron of other Interpol agents, just all being dumb. It's just great. That movie is great. It's coming out digitally in December, I believe.
Okay.
So it's totally worth a watch or a buy or a rent, and I believe it's coming out physically with Blu-ray and Steelbook in January, which I might get that Steelbook. But yeah, the movie's great. Had a lot of fun with it. Really, really enjoyed it. Got goosebumps during the Lupin theme. It's just in general great. There's also a joke, some really weird jokes. I don't know if they're jokes or not, but I remember cackling really hard at one point, where the main idea of the movie is that it's about a old Nazi like group trying to bring back the Third Reich with like some special treasure, and they're like, oh no, don't you get it? Hitler's alive. He's in the South America. I'm like, are they going there? And they show off a little picture, and it's like Hitler in a wheelchair, and I just start like cackling in the theater. Because I wasn't expecting them just to show that. I thought it was just gonna be, like, they mention him, but don't show anything. But they do that, and I just started cackling. I'm like, okay, whatever. Cool. And it just goes with it, and they run with it.
Sick. Old CGI Hitler.
Yeah. It's great. I love it. That movie is legitimately great. It's not, like, the best I've ever seen, but I loved it. What else did I do? I also started up Persona Q2 Cinema Labyrinth, or New Cinema Labyrinth, I think the full name is.
I like the game's art style. That's all I can say for it.
Yeah. I didn't like Persona Q1 a lot. I thought it was okay. I think my biggest problem is that because there's only like a very small amount of dungeons, because they're dungeon crawlers or whatever, the dungeons, they overstay their welcome because they're like 10 hours each.
Jesus.
The puzzles just get really frustrating the longer you go on in them. I just remember, like, in general being really burnt out by the end of it, being like, yeah, this is fine. I remember trying to go back in like a month or two later to do the P3 side. I just gave up. I'm like, no, I can't, because it was just a slow game. It's fine, like, if you really want to play Persona and you don't own a PlayStation and you don't want to emulate, then yeah, the Q games are great to get into with the 3DS. But if you have a PlayStation or you have a PC, then get Persona 4 or Persona 5 and just play it like that. I think you're better off playing the mainline series, but if you have to play a Persona game and you don't own anything to play them on, then yeah, Q is
I feel
fine.
like you'll be so confused though.
Yeah, they do an okay job at trying to catch you up. It just gives you like a little flavor text for each character, like, oh, this character is now this guy is Joker, and he now lives in LeBlanc because got committed for a crime didn't commit, and stuff like that. Or it gives you like oh, here's Ryuji, he's big, he's a big mean, but he has a heart of gold. and stuff like that. It's like very simple. They don't really go into the characters.
For that
like,
reason, I stick to just play P5 or play. Yeah. You can play P4 Golden now. It's on Steam.
Yeah, and they do exposit dump a lot because the first area you go into in each one you're going into a movie basically, and the first movie is a superhero movie. But because the P5 cast entered the movie, the main hero is Kamoshida Man.
Yikes. I don't like him.
And so it's just them being like, oh, what the fuck? Why is Kamoshida the superhero? And just them like explaining. They just kind of like explain it. You point blank about Kamoshida. Yeah,
I saw the clip of that. I remember this now.
And it's like, yeah, that's fine, but like, I think something's missing whenever like you have to spend like 2 minutes explaining who that character is and why you should care or why be mad at him.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the issue of the Q games, is because you're throwing an entire cast into the game, you're going to have to explain the game and the plot, so it gets really mired down in plot exposition, and I'm pretty sure it's going to get only worse, because this game also has the P4 cast and the P3 cast. So I'm sure they're going to explain what timeline P4 was in at this point and what timeline P3 was in at this point. So there's going to be a lot of explaining that I already know.
At that point, just assume they've played the games, because you really shouldn't play. I stick to, you shouldn't play them if you haven't played the original game, because I just feel like you're not going to be able to appreciate the characters. You're going to be confused.
Yeah,
it's gonna be boring.
I think with like other spin-off games, I think that's fine. With like the arena games, I'm like, yeah, that's fine, I guess.
No, yeah, that's a fighting game. It's different.
Like, yeah, like I guess you can play the game without playing 4 or 3 and be like, yeah, I like these characters. Like, yeah, sure. But like with another RPG that's like 40 hours long and you need to like these characters, you're just gonna get the condensed Spark Notes version of each one.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, there's like the scene where it's like the P4 and P3, maybe that was in PQ1, at the school festival, and they're doing like Naoto Shirogane.
That's P1, yeah. Where like, they're doing like the little shooting gallery, and Naoto's like,
Aigis just comes up.
Just uses her actual guns.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, that's in P1. Q doesn't have that right now, as I know of, because it doesn't take place in a festival. It takes place literally inside a movie theater.
No, right, but you can still have those moments.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be strolls later on after I rank them. But like, I haven't ran into anything like that yet, because I'm like 5 hours in.
I would just think like those moments for me would be like the main.
That's why you would play it, is because of the fan service.
Yeah. I wouldn't take this game seriously. It's just
the actual gameplay is like that. The one thing I didn't like about it is that whenever you hit a weak point or a critical hit, you got a boost, and basically a boost then means your next skill is free. So like, if you have Agi and Agidine, and Agi is like 6 SP and Agidine's like 16, you're like, oh, I don't want to spend 16 on Agidine, so just use Agi, get a weak point, get a boost, and then you can use Agidine for free. And
okay, so against Mad Easy.
No, but the thing is, if you get hit, you lose that boost immediately. And the AI, I think, is programmed to hit people who are boosted or more likely to.
Okay. So
that becomes like a little bit. That becomes annoying, really fast. I think they mitigated that in this game, where I don't know if the original did it, to where if you give an enemy a status effect, they can't get rid of your boost. I don't know if that was in the original, because it's in 2, and also characters now have abilities like Line Guard, which I think Ryuji gets at the start, and you can give people with sub-personas, because I gave Yusuke that, because I didn't want Ryuji on my team, because my team right now is main character, Yusuke, Morgana, An, and Akechi.
Okay.
So, like, you can get Lion Guard, and then Yusuke will then protect the party members in his row, so then you don't lose the boost. That's
is Morgana useful now?
He's about the same.
Okay.
Like a red mage type character, which if you don't really like, then chances are he's not going to be useful. What else is in this game that I remember just being like on? Yeah, the game also does the thing of like making it to where you have like 50 HP and like 15 SP, and things being like 6 SP each. So things are mad expensive in the game via SP. So you just have to be okay of spending a lot of SP per fight, which takes forever, but luckily when you leave the dungeon and come back, you get fully healed without needing to pay, so that's nice. But yeah, Q2 right now is alright so far. I think I like it a little bit more than the first one, but I'm still not super big on the Q series. I think that's... I mean, I did play through a game. I did finish a game recently, which I think I'm going to recommend as my game, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, so I will do that.
I forgot. I did do something else, though, that you might hate me for. I played... Well, when I visited, I didn't bring my, PC or PS4, because I wasn't going to be there long. It's too much to pack. But I played Smash, because I could pack my Switch.
How did that go?
It was alright. I've actually discovered... Okay, well, I was only going to play because Steve came out, and I love that he's just busted, and he's just such an asshole character. But Terry is the way in that game. It's like the coolest character.
The first person to play Terry, actually. That's like, yo, Terry's sick as fuck. I think, like, everyone that I know that plays fighting games is like, yo, Terry, though. Because I think it's not just you. I think it's you. It's, I think Paul plays Terry. I'm pretty sure
Terry's sick.
I'm pretty sure Jack plays Terry. I think there's like maybe like one or two other people that I know that play Terry. It's like, he is I feel like he's the darling of the DLC cast next to Joker.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
And like, yo, I want to play this character because he's so sick.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, after, I think Joker, I don't know, actually. As someone, who just really likes fighting games, I think Terry might be my favorite to play. I think the hype value that Joker had, though, is like the best. I think he's like the greatest reveal. But I'm having like the most fun with Terry I've ever had in the Smash game. I'm like, oh my god, this is as close to a fighting game as I'll get with this game. With like an actual fighting game character. He's sick. Like, you just get me down to 100%. It's like, okay, my win condition, it's just go time now. Yeah, that's all I was gonna say. Steve is cool too. He's just an asshole. I like putting the TNT down and watching everyone blow up.
Hell yeah, I've never used him though.
Yeah, he just can't. It's cool. Only reason I play the game now is because of Terry and Steve. I may ask Smash people to play. I don't know.
Oh yeah, if you're willing to pony up with that connection. Or
yeah, that's the only thing. I'm really hoping this is a phase so I don't have to deal with
social distance and well enough in an area to play it in person.
There's no way. They're all at the Syndicate and no one there. Everyone, you either wear a mask there and they're just like bunched together like sardines, or they're just not wearing masks. I'm not going there.
Yeah, no, that's
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
I'm pretty sure the last time I played Smash just like a week or two ago, I'm like, I want to mess around with Byleth, and I'm like, Byleth hard, never mind.
Yeah, Byleth was cool too. I really like the DLC characters actually.
Yeah.
I don't care for Banjo. I think he's kind of boring. I don't care if I get hate for that. But all the other DLC characters, I think they did like a really good job at like implementing them into Smash and making them really interesting. Like, I think majority of them are more interesting than the rest of the cast. I think it's a pretty good direction to go in.
Okay, I'll explain something after this.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, the DLC characters are fun. I haven't messed with any of the newer ones because I just don't care.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't really care.
I'm like very much like, I'm not like, oh, how dare Steve get added? I'm just like, whatever. And the same thing with Midnight. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense they added an ARMS character eventually. I just don't care about ARMS, so.
Yeah, I didn't care about the ARMS one. She does look really cool though. But Steve, it's so good. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
But yeah, I think the first wave of DLC characters were really great, especially when you start off with such a powder keg as Joker.
Yeah.
And then you went to, I mean, granted, you had Banjo in there, which is.
I just didn't care for it. I never liked.
But you have Hero, and Hero's fun to play. People are still mad about him, even like a year later. Like, I ran into somebody who was like, yeah, no, he's the most bullshit character ever. I'm like, just block. Read. Or just read. You just look down and like, oh, he's going to do an insta-kill. I better jump.
Yeah.
Well, I digress. Yeah, Smash is all right. Okay. Do you wanna do the last part of this super quick pod?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do game recommendations, just us two, because I have nothing. Because there's not really any other news for fighting games. Actually, I think the only thing that happened recently was the
Revo
GG
happened.
Yeah, it did happen, and it was neat.
I will just quickly go through this because I like this. Where is it? No, where'd it go? Dude, I was so prepared for this actually. I don't know what happened to it. Here it is. I just want to go over the top 8 because they've done like 3 regions. Is that all the regions they're doing? Just I feel like they're still gonna do the West, right?
Yeah.
Though?
Yeah, I think it's like Southwest, Midwest, and Northwest.
Oh, that's right. Midwest is next, I think. Yeah. So Northeast was this Saturday. I think everyone kind of knew Tempest was gonna win. He's kind of just been bopping and everything, and he played like Carmine Yang, which Rox has been playing since forever, and he's always said like back when Ruby Yang was like meta that Carmine Yang was like their best partners. So that's really cool to see that that's getting like major attention now. Now everyone's playing it. And then number 2 spot was a Kanji Yosuke. And then number 3 was my new team of now 2. I don't know, I just was really excited to see top 8. It's a lot more diverse than I thought it would be. There were still 1, 2, 3, 4 Adachis and 3 Chies, but you know, it's whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, it's really interesting, just like a kanji making it that far, you know?
Yeah, dude.
I think that's
like Yosuke's really good, but Kanji's always been low tier.
Yeah, like that just shows how good the balance is, I think, I would argue, for BB Tag, where it's like just play whoever you want.
And then like, it's really interesting to see. Oh, what were you gonna say?
Like, just play whoever you want. Like, oh man,
yeah,
my Orie Teddy isn't a good team. They don't work well together. Who cares? Play who you want.
No,
Kanji Yosuke probably shouldn't have worked together. But you know,
I feel
whatever.
Like it just works. Kind of like how Narukami Kanji kind of just works. Same thing with Yosuke. I feel like it does similar things, except Yosuke Schmicks. But yeah, and then it's really interesting to see how the meta is different in Japan. Like top 8, number 1 was Hilda Teddy, and here I still think Hilda's bad. I think she's mid tier actually. You can argue that she's high tier. I think she's mid tier. Japan thinks she's like top tier though because of what she does for her teams. But it's still Hilda, and her best DP punish is off of a grab starter.
Japan is weird. They think like Teddy's one of the best characters, don't they?
Yeah, it's because of like what they do and offer like sandwiches and schmicks, but I just don't think that's quite enough to make them top tier. I think that's really good, and you can maybe like at most high tier, but both their damages are just too low. But you know, they won Arc Revo. Yeah, I didn't think that team would work actually. And then below that is Orie Izaioi. These aren't really characters you see in North America. And I think like all these regions are pretty diverse. Like I said, like 3 Adachis and 1, but like
yeah, I mean that makes sense. Like
Adachi's
also had three Belials. Like
yeah,
you're gonna get the dumb character and have him in there, even though like the character that everyone's like, oh, that character's not that great, ends up winning or doing really well because Charlotte won. Charlotta won.
Yeah. Again, and that's Tempest.
Tempest is just I mean, it's Tempest, but it's also like another character that everyone's like, is that character that great? Because I remember like everyone.
No, Charlotte is good. Charlotte's always been good. Tempest is Tempest, and she's never been tippy top tier, but she's been high tier. But every character in Grand Blue is pretty viable. You see a lot of lanes now, and lane is still considered lower tier. It's just Grand Blue. You can do it. You can like every character's viable.
Yeah, and then it's just one of those things of just pick who you want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think people like I talk about tiers because I like
yeah, it's
I care about
talking
tiers.
About like what people think about what makes a character good in their own opinion, because everyone's different.
Yeah,
because you have like our friend Brandon who's like, yeah, Kanji's top tier because he hates grapplers and he thinks grapplers are dumb. Like That's like it's him half memeing and half being dead serious.
Yeah.
So like, for somebody, a grappler is ungodly top tier because they're annoying to deal with. But for other people, it's like, no, the character's dumb. He's stupid easy to deal with. What are you talking about? So you're always going to get something different. No one tier list is going to be the same, but it's just like, oh, what do you think makes a character good, or what do you think makes a character bad?
Yeah, like I only care about tier lists not because that's like what I'm basing what character I'm going to play, but just because I like to see the differences. Like especially like here in North America, tier lists are roughly have the same structure of where characters fall, but then I look at Japan tier lists, I'm like, what the fuck are y'all on that you think Hilda Teddy is top tier? Oh god, it won your region. I don't understand it, but I find it so interesting. Like there were 3 Hildas in that top 8. There was a Yosuke Adachi in there, and that team is the evil of BB Tag, one of the evils. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to me. That's all I care about. Oh, last topic. Whatever it was, I forgot.
Arc Revo.
No. I forgot what the last section is.
Oh, recommendations. We're going to recommend a game for people.
Oh, right.
I guess I can go first real quick.
Yeah.
So I've been, with the powers of totally legal ability, I've been playing on my 3DS a lot and catching up on games I haven't played before. Mainly like the Fire Emblem series and a lot of Shin Megami Tensei games.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I'm going to throw 2 out because they're really quick. The first one I'm going to recommend is Fire Emblem Awakening. It's the game, I'm going to say it's the game that put Fire Emblem on the map. Because technically Fire Emblem was popular in Japan, but literally every single time a game came out in America, it just did not sell super well. I think we got Path of Radiance for GameCube and some other game and maybe some Game Boy ones, but they never did well. And they're ungodly expensive now if you want to buy a physical copy of them. So it was always that one Smash Bros. Melee series, basically. We're like, oh, I like Marth. Oh, it's cool. Did you play Fire Emblem? No, I played Melee. Like, people know about Fire Emblem because of Smash Brothers, basically, not necessarily the other way around, you know?
Yeah.
But in the 3DS era, I think 2013, 2014, they released Awakening, and that was like a massive breakout success for some reason. I don't really know the exact reason why. Because this game is very good, but I don't know if it's because of the characters, because the character interactions are really fun. The writing itself is fine, I guess. It's box standard. The gameplay is great and it's addictive, so maybe that's why. I don't know. And maybe if I decide to do videos, maybe I can look into that. But it's interesting how that game put everything on the map, but I do think it's worth playing if you have a 3DS, a 2DS, or anything like that, or any way to play it. If you're getting a physical copy, just know that you're paying more than what it's worth. And by that I mean, it used to be 40 on release, but if you're buying a physical copy, it goes for like 50, I think. Because, Nintendo games.
Yeah.
I think you can get it for like 40 though on the eShop, if you don't mind digital and don't mind paying still full price for a 7-year-old game. Yeah, it's worth it, I think. It's super addictive, being able to just move characters around the map super fast. Turn-based strategy is something I'm getting into recently because I like that more than like real-time. It's why I can never play RTSs. It's why I can never... Civilization's technically turn-based, but I can never get into Civ. I can never get into StarCraft because that stuff just hurts my brain. Because it's like big, it's massive. You're moving armies. You're not just moving like 10... Because like in Fire Emblem, you're moving 15 characters max. But in Civilization, you're moving like 20 armies. You're moving so much. But Fire Emblem's like, here's 10 characters, your fighting gets 20, make it happen. And then it works, because the weapon triangle really works, because it's axe beats spear, sword beats axe beats spear, spear beats sword. And it's a little weapon triangle. And you don't need to follow weapon triangle to be successful, but it helps a lot. And then there's also like arrows which do more damage against flying enemies. So you have a flying dude, you might want to not go head first because you might run into a archer who can kill you instantly, basically. Because arrows do double damage. And it's really interesting. Again, it's super addictive. At first you're like, this is fine, I guess. But the more you play it, the more you get into it. And then before you know it, you're playing the gacha, pulling Corrin and Marth and Small Marth and a bunch of other stuff. So I'm into the series now. I really like it. I played Three Houses before this, and now I played Awakening. Awakening was like, yeah, this is great. So I'm probably gonna play the bad one soon, which is Fates. Yeah, recommend that one. And I also recommend another 3DS game, Shin Megami Tensei 4, which is technically the most recent Shin Megami game that's mainline. Apocalypse technically came after it, but that's a spin-off of 4, or like a sequel to 4. So I guess technically that is it, but I recommend 4. It's $20, I think, on the eShop itself, and I think you can find a physical copy for dirt cheap. I got mine for like 15 when I played it again a few years ago. It's very good. The story itself is pretty... The Shin Megami games have never had super amazing stories because, like, it's just like, how would you save the world? Will you go for a chaos way of every man for themselves, the strongest wins? Would you go for law, which is like, we must govern ourselves? Like, how would you do that? But it's good. It's very solid. The gameplay is addictive because it's Shin Megami. The press turn system is fucking fantastic. And the music also just slaps super hard. If you never heard the music, definitely listen to the boss battle theme in that game. It's great. And I highly recommend Shin Megami Tensei 4 if you ever get the chance to play it. Alright, Troy, what do you?
I was gonna recommend Hyperlight Drifter. Playing on my Switch again recently. And I just realized I never finished the game. It's a 2D action RPG that's kind of styled like a 16-bit, and I'm trying to remember what the genre is called. Let me pull it up here. It feels like a roguelike sometimes. It has roguelike aspects, but it's not really a roguelike. It kind of reminds me somewhere between would be a roguelike and a Zelda game, where it's just a lot of exploration. A little puzzle solving, but it's mostly like action RPG, kind of going through dungeons, cool abilities, and then gorgeous game though. The backgrounds are really cool. I think how the character moves in them fits really well with the setting. Can't really... I have an idea of the story that's going on, and you kind of figure it out through like the little character interactions. There's no like words really. It's just kind of like the pictures they show you while like moving through the world. It's a little dark, but it's really cool. Super fun. I'm like halfway through it, I think. I've gone through like half the areas, so I assume after that I have like the last area, final boss, something like that.
Yeah, probably. That makes sense.
It's been out for like a little bit. Let's see, when did it come out? 2016. Yeah, I'm just really behind.
Cool.
Yeah, but it's really fun, and it ages really well. Because it's just like one of those 2D kind of like 16-bit like games, but yeah, no, it's gorgeous.
How much is it right now?
I think it's like $15, maybe less.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, good game. I have like other games I would recommend, but they're spooky, so I'm like saving them till the Halloween episode.
No, yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So that is the second co-op episode of Here Comes New Challenger Down. This has just been two of us, and that is Troy.
Goodbye.
And I'm Garrett. Join us next time when it's going to be longer and spookier. Bwahahahaha.
Peace.
Like a